Hi, it's David Krayden here. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the station. We could not move forward without you. Let's listen to why the electric car vehicle obsession is going to be a disaster.
Dale Bierbala bought this Ford F-150 Lightning to save on fuel and use cleaner energy. Just 12 hours into his first big road trip with family through the United States, he ditched the electric vehicle.
It was towing, finding a towing company, getting it towing it over there. Yeah, it was really a nightmare frustration for us.
The $115,000 truck has an estimated range of 515 kilometers. Bala planned to power up at fast charging stations between Winnipeg and Chicago. The first charge in Fargo took 2 hours and cost him $56.
Incredible.
Trouble started at the next stop in Minnesota.
It was showing in my screen faulty connection.
Faulty connection.
And it was not charging.
Running low on battery, Bala headed for the next closest fast charger. That one in Elk River wouldn't work either. He got the EV towed and continued the trip with a gas-powered rental vehicle.
And that's when we decided that, you know what, we don't want any more distraction or any frustration.
EV drivers rely on chargers like this one. It's not known why Bala couldn't get a charge at the first station in Minnesota. The company that runs the charger there says it was working. The other one in Elk River was offline due to maintenance.
Some of the reliability of those chargers is less than ideal.
Winnipegger Ross Redmond owns 2 EVs and is a member of the Manitoba Electric Vehicle Association. The group says more focus is needed on maintenance and technical support at charging stations, but Redmond remains confident in the vehicles. He drove his 2014 Tesla Model S from Vancouver to Winnipeg in December over 2 days.
Shortest charge on the way home from Vancouver was 7 minutes. My longest charge was 21 minutes.
He stopped at Tesla supercharger stations, which are different than the ones compatible with most other vehicles. Ford of Canada says drivers of its vehicles will get access to Tesla's network of chargers next year and an additional 4,000 fast chargers. That's little comfort to Bala right now.
And to have a, more than $100,000 of a car to just only drive in the city doing nothing with it, that was not expected.
He picked up his truck on the way home from Chicago and is just using it to get to work, but he won't take it on any more long trips anytime soon.
So this poor guy buys into the government's propaganda. Yeah, you're going to have an easy time with your electric vehicle. It's going to be cheaper and you're going to be able to recharge all over the place. And he finds out it's a lie. These recharging stations don't work. Okay, maybe the Tesla ones are working, but everybody doesn't own a Tesla. And he had to get he had to rent a gas-powered car to get out of this situation he was in, being stranded because of his electric vehicle. Now, this is a CBC report, but this reporter obviously has some credibility, integrity, and honesty because he's done an honest report here. And he actually concludes with this other individual saying, it's cold comfort to me to think that maybe someday I can go to a Tesla station because right now I can't even drive this car outside of the city. And he's furious. He bought into this and he was betrayed because it's just a big lie. All of this stuff. So you might ask, how is the government going to force us to stop using our gas-powered car? Why can't we just ignore this electric vehicle obsession and just keep driving gas-powered cars? Well, I'll tell you later, this government, this liberal government wants to ban the internal combustion engine, but it's got other ways. And in the U.S., Biden is thinking in the same direction as Trudeau. Listen to this fascinating report here from Charles Payne.
This will slow them down because I think it's going to be the greatest economic boondoggle in American history. Yep. Cylinder, all the other stuff, a proverbial drop in the bucket. Right now, EV sales are being lifted by these massive subsidies, but there are so many of them being built. They're piling up. In fact, supply is up 350%. And some just aren't selling. The Genesis, they've got one that sold 18 electric whips. 18! Even Tesla, their whole market share, but they've been slashing prices like crazy. Now, the only way to meet the outrageous targets that they want is to make it a pain in the gas to drive an internal combustion engine car. The administration has such plans on the board, folks. The EPA is going to change tailpipe rules. There's all kinds of other gimmicks. It's going to force you to just ditch your gas-powered car. In the end, there's going to be mountains of unsold cars. I don't know what we're going to do to the lithium batteries. We're going to strip mine the entire planet. The economy, the economic toll will be crazy. Again, remember, mark my words, the worst economic boondoggle ever.
And that's why we've invested.
Yeah, and you heard it there. And I'm gonna put this hack of a liberal MP on in a minute, and he's going to tell you how it's all going to work. Because, you know, even if all of the disincentives, if you will, all of the basic economic terrorism, regulatory terrorism that the liberal government and the Democratic one in the States is going to use against drivers of gas-powered cars, even if that doesn't work, even if they still can't force gas-powered cars off the road, they've got another thing coming. Yeah, they've got another solution to this. And listen to this MP from Prince Edward Island, the Liberal MP, where the price of gas is $1.85. And he just thinks the carbon tax is a great idea. But you know what? He's got a solution.
In electric vehicles, in batteries, in the clean fuel standard, the very purpose of that is to allow for transportation with less harm to the environment. I have every confidence that industry is going to respond positively. So I don't have any concern whatsoever, because I have so much faith in the innovators in this country who are being fueled by the investments that we are making. I mean, there are going to be no internal combustion engines in Canada in 2035.
All right. Did you just hear him say that? Yeah, I did too. Let's hear it again.
So I don't have any concern whatsoever, because I have so much faith in the innovators in this country who are being fueled by the investments that we are making. I mean, there are going to be no internal combustion engines in Canada in 2035.
Did you know that? That's only 12 years away. And there's not going to be any internal combustion engine. What this government is going to ban them. Well, I've got one piece of good news for you. The likelihood of this Trudeau eco-extremist government surviving for another 12 years is highly remote. I think Canadians are going to develop a stronger sense of common sense in those next 12 years. And these plans are going to be put asunder because they're insane, absolutely insane. To get rid of the internal combustion engine, we are all going to be walking and riding bikes. I ride my bike all the time. I can't go from Carleton Place to Ottawa on my bike every day. And I certainly can't drive across the country on my bike. But this is how stupid these climate change fanatics are. In the name of ideology, they would rather have you walk.
I right now am an MP for downtown Toronto. A fact that still shocks my dad is I don't actually own a car because I live in downtown Toronto. I'm like, I don't know, 300 meters from the nearest subway. I walk, I take the subway, I make my kids walk and ride their bikes and take the subway.
They would rather have you not have access to a car anymore. Probably not have access to air travel anymore because they think it's wrong. They don't think it's good for their ideological plan. So they want to deprive you of that. And they're going to do everything they can to try to do that. They're going to make regulations so ridiculous that your gas-powered car will never meet those expectations. Then they want to ban the engine itself. And do you think the electric vehicle market is going to come in and save that? Probably not, because we're not going to have the materials to sustain the batteries. And the cost of charging these cars is going to be so prohibitive, we're going to wonder why we can't be paying high gas prices anymore, because it's going to be worse. So I'm telling you, we have to push back on these idiotic, short-sighted, ideological policies. This is, my God, it's like the Cultural Revolution in China. Yes, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but not quite, because the Cultural Revolution in China, initiated by dictator Mao Zedong, was all about forcing an ideology on people that didn't work, that was unworkable, and not giving a damn about the human cost of that revolution. That's exactly how liberals are thinking. They don't care. They don't care how much people are going to suffer because of their carbon taxes, because of their climate change hysteria, and because they're going to insist you can't drive your car anymore. They don't care what the human suffering is going to be in that. They don't care if the lights go out, the air conditioning stops in the summer. They don't care if we can't heat our homes anymore or we're living in caves. As long as their ideological agenda is advanced, that's all Justin Trudeau and his ministers and much of the Liberal caucus cares about. Thankfully, there's a lot of people in that caucus who are saying this is insane. We've got to depart from this catastrophic road. So thankfully, there is some common sense left. But we've got to get rid of this Liberal government. So these crazy notions, these stupid and ridiculous ideas are not brought into fruition, because they will mean catastrophe for Canada, just as they will for the United States. What we're trying to do every week here is bring you the news you might not see everywhere else. And we're coming against Justin Trudeau's internet censorship laws. Please subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't done so already. I know it's annoying to ask. Believe me, I'm not a salesman. I'm a writer. But I really implore you to do that, because I need this station to keep going. We want to keep bringing you the news that you want to hear. And if you want a story covered, let me know, please. Because that's where I'm getting a lot of news information from your tips. So thank you for being there for me. And you can also support this station by going on my Substacks and subscribing for $8 a month. Yes, I know it's free, but I can also use your support. So please do that if you can. And I'll continue to be here every week, every day if must needs be, to tell you what's really happening in this world of ours. And I'm in nobody's pocket, but I am on your side.